Hi, I'm Gabe. This is a Frederick Scheibler home in Wilkinsburg. Come on in. When I discovered this place, I had to know, what its deal was, and had noticed the white stucco that exists here on the exterior was similar to a building down on Braddock Avenue over in Regent Square called the Old Heidelberg. It was a clue and enough for me to kind of find some information online that led me down the path of looking into that architect, Frederick Scheibler. He is a Pittsburgh architect whose work blended a lot of things and was kind of brief, but also somewhat overlooked in what we think about with architects in America. There were a lot of features that he kind of blended in here with Art Nouveau style, modernism, and arts and crafts building. But this one is from 1910, is kind of peak Scheibler in that white stucco phase. In finding this place and taking it over, it has absolutely made me become a Scheibler enthusiast. This house was in disrepair, and it happened to be a architecturally significant house. So both of those things kind of collided when I took over this place. This is the sunroom. This was all caved in. There was water damage. It was actually a step down that had radiators, and all of these windows were still here. So we were able to kind of fix up some of the ones that had broken out and try to do our best with painting it. But the room is great. I mean, it's a sunroom, and the plants that we have in here do pretty well. It's also a great place for my dog, Fred, to live. He kind of sits here and gets to scope out the whole neighborhood. But this kind of leads out into the living room, and the living room is large. This is an original fireplace that has very unique kind of arts and craftsy style tiles built into it. All the old original windows are here. All the old original hardware is here. I love the original woodwork. Tried to keep that. The house was abandoned. The previous owner had left quite a mess to be cleaned up. It's kind of a makeshift kitchen, but I also love it. This is an old stove from Construction Junction. This is a table I got from a Facebook free group. And this is an antique Hoosier style cabinet with top and bottom, and the top is kind of mounted to the wall to act as shelves. This is the dining room. The dining room experienced a lot of water damage from the flat roof on the second floor that had come down. This is an original Frederick Scheibler fireplace. It's just mostly pretty to look at. I like the green tiles. I like that it's kind of built into the corner. Two very important things were removed from the house before I was able to sign off on it and get it from the county. There was a window here that was a stained glass window that had like a floral design on it, and that front door had to be purchased. This front entryway has a lot of original woodwork that still exists. So these are picture ledge boards that have like the little clip that you can put on there, and that picture ledge used to wrap around here. So, if you wanted to hang like a big heavy painting, it would have a little more support. So this hallway leads to 2 bedrooms, the 3rd floor, a bathroom, and the main bedroom. Main bedroom is large. Sometimes I'm like, I basically have 2 bedrooms. There's a whole other space that I use as an office. Bed is here. And again, the natural light that kind of pours into this whole entire house. It's really incredible. This bathroom, all the original tile is still here. Original sink and the tub. This was another room where I looked into it at first, and it was terrifying to see like just the mess that was left and the work that still had to be done. But I'm glad it was all preserved. When you see this tile, it's tile on top of a layer of cement that is meshed into like a steel lath. So it's very solid. This was another room that had water damage. So above us is a flat section of roof that had the original tin that was there from when the house was built. It had leaked just enough to fill this room, which was filled with books and documents, just soaked everything in. So it was a spot that had to be cleaned out by professionals, but then had to dry for a long time. When I was trying to get into the place, it was filled with furniture as well. It was kind of like just getting through narrow pathways to get in and out of this place. Before I knew anything about the house, I didn't know there was a third floor. I maybe thought this was a closet or didn't really put much thought into it other than that. But I got here and opened it up and looked up, and it was kind of this perfectly nicely painted stairwell that led up into a third floor. It was something that, I was completely blown away by, which ends up being used as kind of an entertainment area for the kids to come up in here and play video games, play Legos. The space is large, and when I came up here, it was filled with boxes of books, and the floor had actually sunk down because there were so many books and so much of that weight was pushing down. It was probably about 2 or 3 inches that it had moved down, and it was sinking into the center. So had there been any water damage up here to any of this part of the roof, it would have soaked into all of those boxes of books, which weighed enough already. It was very hard to get them all out of here, but it would have soaked through, waterlogged them, and probably destroyed the rest of the house. So things like that really make me think that, had it sat for another year or two, it would not be the same scenario. I wouldn't be here at all. Any person with a preservation mindset is going to tell you something about how they, want to save old places. They are charming. There is more character than anything that you can find new. And if you enjoy the work and want to see something come back to life, it's worth it,